Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Free.
I'm Andrew.
And we are
TheGhaMerican.
So for today's video, we're going to talk about like African men and like polygamy and some of the, what are those things, like stereotypes in regards to like African men. So as you guys know, I am American, Andrew is African. And of course, we have these thoughts. Well, I had these thoughts because, we hear, stereotypes about African men. Before I start telling this story, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, turn it on so you can get these videos, okay? So first things first, Andrew ended up telling me that in Ghana, if a man has 10 kids, he's seen as like royalty, like, oh my gosh, like you've accomplished, like you are the man, you have 10 kids.
Yes.
And I'm like, first of all, I'm not having 10 kids, not even trying to have close to 10 kids. So I went on to ask questions like, okay, well, are all these 10 kids come from the same woman? And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't
He's
matter.
like, yeah, it doesn't matter. But once a Ghanaian man gets to 10 kids, he's seen as like, macho man. He's, accomplished something.
Yeah.
So of course that leads to the conversation of like polygamy and things like that. So I want you to go ahead and kind of just explain how like relationships and things work, because I know you said you can have more than one wife and your grandfather had more than one wife, right?
No.
You were telling me somebody had more than one wife.
I think my grandfather on my dad's side.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. See? I knew I wasn't tripping. But yeah, you were saying that it's okay to have more than one wife, blah, blah, blah. I'm letting y'all know that now. No. Ain't happening with me. But go ahead, baby.
So in Ghana, society permits African men, Well, let me start broad and I will narrow it down to Ghana. So in Africa, it's a patriarchal society. Yeah, most people wouldn't like it, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And in an African society, the community, it's okay for a man to have more than one wife. It's like, oh, there are enough ladies or enough women for a man to have more than one. So why should you stay or stick with one woman, when you can have a lot? And so
so the ladies are okay with it because this is normal to them?
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah. It's normal. And back then, let's say you're my first wife, right? We get married and there wasn't any court or church wedding. There wasn't any sign of documents. Back then it was just traditional marriage. You see a lady, you like her, you buy your schnapp, which is an alcoholic beverage, or and then a few stuff, you go see the family, they accept your stuff, you're married. There's no documentation, anything. And so, you do that, I marry you, you're my first wife. So if I want another one, I don't just wake up and say, I'm going to take another wife. I talk to you.
I was about to ask that next. Like, does the woman have a say in it? Like, or do you just show up with another woman, like, okay, she's joining the party now?
Yeah. I talk to you and I'm like, baby, I need fresh blood, I need fresh blood. So, what do you think? And then if she agrees, I go in for another wife and we have more kids. And if I want more wives, so I speak to you.
And the second wife now. Sometimes
speak to the second one, but mostly the first wife is the one who has more say, So the man gives the first wife the respect.
That's the one he likes the most.
Well, that's the one he started life with, but in most cases, there's always a rift between the first and the second wife. So sometimes they pitch each other's kids against each other just so that there's a break in the family and all of that. But when the man wants more wives, he just goes for it, provided that the first one accepts it. Even in most cases, if the first one doesn't accept it,
he's gonna do it anyway.
Okay,
I have another question. So does the first wife get to decide on the woman as well? What if she doesn't like the woman? Then what?
You're not the one going to lay in bed with her.
Oh. Okay, so the impression that, because in these new age polygamy relationships, both get to decide if they like that woman, if they're going to accept her in. It's not just like the man, well, from what I know, it's not just like the man saying, I want this girl, or this new wife.
So the thing is, if the man wants the woman, it means that he's done his assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So he just comes to you and tells you, hey, I've seen the woman that I think she'll be okay for me. I want to make her my second wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just telling you to seek your consent. Yeah, and I'm going to get married to her in a week or in a month's time. Yeah. So from that time till she comes to the house, you should convince yourself, or you should come to the realization or acceptance that there's another woman coming home.
What?
Yeah, but most people who do this, so they have quarters, they have quarters for each wife. So it's not like
not like everybody
you're gonna
just
living together.
Oh,
in most
like
cases,
sister
no.
wives.
No. So like there'll be a big house, and in the big house is where the man and his first wife mostly will be, and then the second wife will be in another quarters. But sometimes the second wife wants more privilege and more power and wants to be in the main house, and so she would try to find her way and cause confusion. If she's not a good woman, we'll always try to cause confusion so that the man would demote his first wife, put her in the quarters, and then pick the second one and put her in the main house. Sometimes that's what happens. Most of the times, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happens. But now, polygamy that is happening, they don't care,
Like new school.
Yeah, new school, and the new school one, the man would not even bring you home. You are staying in a different city or a different town. He just comes, spends 1 or 2 days, and goes back to wherever he wants to go to.
So is polygamy like still a big thing? Because I know like for your grandfather, it was like traditional, the thing to do. So is it still like a big thing?
Yeah, it's still a big thing. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's still a big thing, and provided that the marriage between the man and the first wife was a traditional marriage.
Okay.
And now it's like it's there. Christianity, doesn't really approve of polygamy. So most men who are Christians want a second wife, but they can't go and say, "Oh, I want a second one," because they had the ordinance marriage. So what they'll do is they'll just have a mistress.
That's true. I feel like in America, polygamy has just become like a big thing, like an open thing. Of course, men had, granddad had a family down the street and stuff like that. But I feel like now polygamy is like, it's cool to do.
Yeah.
People want to have like multiple partners and like everyone be okay with it. I feel like in our generation, it's more acceptable. Of course, like our parents' generation and going up, it's like, hell no, we're not doing that.
And the thing is, back then, like, the reason why they had multiple wives and tons of kids was because they were farmers. And like my grandfather, for instance, he had a huge farm. If he was just with one woman, maximum they can have like 4, maybe 5 kids.
No, I know people with more than that.
One woman, one person. Oh man.
Yeah, the Duggars. The Duggars, what is it? 16, 18 and counting, whatever it is. John and Kate plus 8.
But the thing is,
the black family, the Ricos.
The woman might feel like, hey, 5 kids is okay.
2,
It's okay. So he'll be like, all right, I need to go for more. And in some cases, let's say the first wife only give birth to girls, and the man wants an heir. He would maybe task his mom or his aunts, the grown-ups, to investigate in the community, in the town, and see which family has a lot of male kids, male children. And they had a notion that, if I marry from this family, the lady will be able to give me a male child. Forgetting that having a boy or girl is science. They think that, once you're from a family of twins, it means that the woman is going to give me twins. Once you're from a family of boys, it means the woman's going to give me boys. So that was another reason why most men were, polygamous.
Okay.
Yes, and sorry to cut you short. With regards to the kids, having 10 kids in Ghana, if you're from an African community, for a small community, now I don't know if it's really prevalent in the cities, but like in the rural areas, if you have 10 plus kids, they kill a sheep for you.
Oh yeah, you said.
They call it Badu Jai. You know, Bedu means like 10th child. Bedu means 10th child, and Jai means sheep. So Bedu Jai, 10th child sheep. So they just sacrifice it, and everyone dies, and then enjoys and be like, this man is a hero. Yeah.
That's crazy. See, my mom's dad, he must be Ghanaian, because I think my mom's biological dad, he has like 17 kids, I want to say, legit. Between like 5 different women. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of kids. A lot.
Do you know all of them?
No, I've never met all of my aunts, all of my uncles. No, I've only met like a handful of them, maybe about 5 or 6 of them max, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so polygamy is still a thing. And funny story. When I met my wife, she thought that I had a wife. She thought I had a wife back in Ghana, and I wanted to have her here so that when I go home, I go to my Ghanaian wife, and when I'm here with her.
So, I have heard, like, I don't know people personally,
Oh my God.
but you know, once you're in China for a while, you kind of start meeting people, and there are a lot of Africans here, you know, and of course there are stereotypes, watch out for African men, blah, blah, blah. They have, they'll have a girlfriend here, and then they're married back home, and then they have kids and stuff like that. So y'all know me, I mind my business. I don't really believe everything I hear, but literally I've had people tell me, oh yeah, that guy, he's from whatever country in Africa, he's actually married, he has kids, but he walking around with a woman here with his girlfriend,
Did anyone tell you that watch out for this African guy?
No. No one told me that, but you just have to be very like weary. So of course I'm like, okay, tell me the details, man. Like, where's your wife? You have kids?
And she was very upfront with it. I was like, where is this coming from? So, I didn't have any kids. I didn't have any wife back home. So I was open and told her the truth.
Yeah,
but in some cases, most of the men are not truthful.
Yeah, it's a lot of men in China. So if you are in Africa and your husband here, you better be checking in, girl. You better be checking in, because
it's a lot going on in the streets. Yeah, it's a lot. So if you like this video, if you enjoyed watching this, we entreat you to kindly like, comment, subscribe, and also turn on your notification post so you can update anytime we post a video. To end the video, I'm Andrew.
I'm Free.
And we are
TheGhaMerican. See you guys next time.
Bye.